What's going on YouTube? Slimmer6 back again with another video. And in this video, I'm going to be discussing the PlayStation Portal and the Nintendo Switch. The reason I'm making this video is because in my last video, I stated that with this PlayStation Portal, they kind of stepping on the toes of Nintendo with their handheld. Now, my whole life, I've always had the Game Boy Color, Game Boy Pocket, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy SP, which had the backlight. I got the Nintendo DS when it first came out. My peoples got me that. You feel me? The Christmas, it was sold out nationwide. My peoples got me the Nintendo DS. I had the DS Lite. After that, I had the 3DS. I had two 3DSs because I remember I bought one. I was working at Ross, and then the other 3DS, I was working at LA Fitness, and I was playing Pokemon X and Y. And my brother was playing Pokemon X and Y, I believe, too. And, what else from that time? Maybe it wasn't X and Y. I think it was X and Y, though, because he had level of hundreds. But my whole life, I've always played Pokemon on the handhelds. Game Boy, Ruby, Sapphire, you name it. I love Pokemon. I grew up on Pokemon. My first game was Pokemon Red and Blue. I got Pokemon Scarlet up right now. You feel me? No, I think this is Pokemon Violet, but you see Charizard, Blastoise, Venusaur, Dragonite, Raichu. You feel me? This is my original 150 team. I can go with my bosses, but let's just get back to it. So, typically, my whole life, the Nintendo has been the handheld, just dominated the handheld market. Even when Sony came out with the PlayStation Portable or the PSP, I was able to get one. I remember I was like 11 or 12 years old. My peoples got me one. I remember it was $250 back then in like 2008. Like, that was a lot of money back then. You feel me? $250 in '08. So that's really like $500 for real in today's money. So I had a PlayStation Portable. It had the UMD system. So it's like they had like these, it was like an enclosed CD, and you'd put it in the back of the system, and you would close it. You'd close the tray, to run the disc. It would be like a pretty good game, but it wouldn't be on the same level of a PlayStation 2 game at the time. So you'd have like Midnight Club on the PSP, then you'd have like Midnight Club on the PlayStation 2. And the one on the PSP ran a little bit lighter. If you had Madden on PSP versus Madden on the PS2, the one on the PS2 kind of has all of the features and everything how it's supposed to be. On the PSP, you're playing like 60% of the game. It's a watered down version of the game. So typically with the handhelds, on Sony's side, you're playing the game on PSP, or even when they had the PS Vita, you're not playing the same Madden. You're not playing the same Call of Duty. You're not playing the same Spider-Man. It's a lighter version of the game always. That's where Sony shines with this, is that you can play directly from your PlayStation 5. You're playing games directly from your PlayStation 5 system. You're playing Kingdom Hearts, you feel me, as it's intended. Let me go back though. Right? You're playing Kingdom Hearts. You're playing College Football 25. You feel me? Now, with the Nintendo Switch or Nintendo's library of games, they've always been far less graphically intensive games. They've always been far less demanding games, so to say. Like Pokemon, I feel, even though it's a 3D world now, it's a very simple game. You know what I'm saying? It's a very simple game. It's not too much to it. It's not 20 moving AI controlled people on the field, on a battlefield, or on a football field. It's not that crazy. You feel me? It's one Pokemon versus another. It's turn-based. You play a game like Mega Man. You playing a game like Final Fantasy on the Switch. Turn-based games. It's nothing too crazy. Persona's a good one. You're playing stuff like Animal Crossing on the Switch. You're not playing the same level of AAA, first party, first class. Many of these games, you got Pokemon games, which are the best games on the Nintendo platforms, but almost everything is a gimmick, and it's not 100% the gaming experience that you could have, right? This is where the PlayStation Portal shines, is that I could have the same gaming experience as if I'm in my living room with this. I'm playing a AAA, first party, first class type of game on the PlayStation Portal. I'm playing college football 25 as if it's on my PlayStation 5 Portal. As if it's on my PlayStation 5 in the living room. Now with this, I could do the same thing. I could have the game either playing in the living room, or I could have the game playing in my hand, but I'm never gonna get that same library. I'm never gonna get that same access, you know? Because I feel that in large part, many of Nintendo's offerings are, in a sense, gimmicky when you compare it to what you have on PlayStation 5 and Xbox libraries. That is how I feel. With this, I could do the same thing I'm doing on my PlayStation 5. I could even go live and stream games on YouTube with this. You know? So, that's just what I feel. It's just my opinion. I feel like Sony stepped on Nintendo's toes by creating this system, because Nintendo dominated the handheld space. Now with this, as long as you're close to Wi-Fi, right? Which pretty much means you're comfortable, because anywhere that is comfortable, you have Wi-Fi, and you wouldn't be gaming in an area that isn't comfortable. Therefore, with this, you could pretty much play in most of the same areas that you could play in Nintendo Switch. Probably not on the car, and definitely not on the plane, because the Wi-Fi is not going to be up to par. So that kind of slows it down, since you can't really travel with this. This wouldn't be the best travel system until you get to the hotel, until you get under some Wi-Fi. That kind of hampers this. If you have a hotspot, good on you. That might be an area where the Nintendo Switch actually shines. Now let's take some time to check out my Pokemon. Got Charizard, Venusaur, Blastoise, Dragonite. I got a box full of Charmanders. Let's focus here. I got a box full of Charmanders, Raichu, War Turtle, Squirtle. These are some of my higher level Pokemon. I remember having way more Pokemon than this. I remember having way more. I guess these are all like my best ones. This is my favorite right here. He's my favorite. Let's check the summary on him. Check the summary. That's my favorite. You feel me? So boom, back to this, right? I could play college football 25 just like I'm playing on the PlayStation 5. And it's lit. It's lit. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing where technology has gotten. And for $199 versus what I believe is $299 Or I even think this one was $349. This is a good buy because it costs a little bit over half of what this costs. Because after tax, the Nintendo Switch, if it's $350, you're, by the time you buy a game and all that, you're at like $400. So let's say you have a PS5 and you have games and all that stuff, you could just like clean walk in the store, spend $199, walk out with this, and now you have handheld gaming. But you would have to already have a PlayStation 5 and everything set up, which would be over $500. But yeah, that's just where I'm at with these systems. The Nintendo Switch is amazing. PS5 Portal, amazing. I believe it's very convenient. I could even live stream to YouTube from here, just like I can on my PS5. Overall, for what this is, even though you can't really play offline without the Wi-Fi connection, I give this device a 9 out of 10. I don't really know where they can improve on the PlayStation Portal, but I'm sure they'll figure out something, you know? Maybe some type of offline capability where the games could be actually running on the system, which I guess would take some type of like processing power. But I don't know, it's streaming the image, but sending the control signals over the internet. That's amazing. And then relaying feedback to you. They've outdone themselves with this. They've outdone themselves. You know what I'm saying? They've outdone themselves with this system. My PlayStation's in the other room. They outdid themselves with this. So for what it's worth, $199, that's a good deal. That's a good buy, right? This right here, in order to really get right, you're gonna have to spend like over $3. Plus, you're gonna have to buy a game, so you already at like $400. So, if handheld's what you're trying to do, I don't think these are made to be compared because comparison is the thief of joy. But for the sake of YouTube, for the sake of just, you know, and then another pro to this is that you don't need any game cartridges because all the games are on your PlayStation 5, especially if you do digital games. You're set. So there you have it. And also, this is the special edition Nintendo Switch. So that brings the Nintendo Switch up another level. I give the Nintendo Switch a 10 out of 10. Also, I'm just saying Sony stepped on their toes. But I give Nintendo Switch a 10 out of 10 because for what it's supposed to do, it does that. You know, Pokemon, Zelda, Mario, Metroid, the Nintendo specialties, the Nintendo home run games that they got, they handle business. They do what they need to do. And then they also supply you a more watered down version of the other stuff that you like. That could be Call of Duty, that could be PGA Golf or Madden. It'll be a more watered down version of the game. And Madden not coming out every year, or 2K might not come out every year on the Nintendo system. It's that type of deal with them, you know. They'll kind of like make an effort, but they're not really going above and beyond trying to run 2K on their Nintendo Switch. They're just gonna port the game to the Switch. So yeah, this is a special edition one, man. It's mine and I love it. You know, and then here's my PlayStation Portal. They don't have custom ones of these yet. I'm throwing dots with one hand over here, right? But I give it an 8 out of 10. I get it a 9, but yeah, I just think Nintendo should they got to do something because the PS Portal also looks a little bit more modern too compared to the Switch. So Nintendo better get their act together and provide the Pokemon experience of a lifetime the next go around, because this is great. This was a huge improvement, you know, but something is always missing. Something is missing from this whole experience. There goes Charizard. He's gonna use Air Slash. one hit. That's what we do. That's how we handle business. That's how we handle business. You feel me? So Nintendo got to do something, man, because we running full college football games on here. Pokemon just now giving us Nintendo 360, Nintendo 64 graphics in a Pokemon game in 2025. And we got Nintendo 64 graphics. Versus me, from my Sony system, I'm playing college football. Just like on the PlayStation. And over here, I'm playing Pokemon, Nintendo 64 graphics. Even though I love my Pokemon, but still. It's about the dopamine effect of leveling up every time. And the like little beeps and shit, you feel me? Like, bing, you feel me? Like, you leveled up. That's really what it is. You're not playing for graphics and all that shit. You're playing because you're chasing that high of leveling up. With this, though, you can enjoy full quality games, bro. You know, so that's my comparison. Slimmer 6 signing out.